This little guy decided to invade our picnic. Do you have any idea who he is or what he is? Before I reveal who that little guy is and why he's there, I am going to be talking about nature and sharing our recent picnic at Island Lake. So stay tuned for a revelation of a lot of wild creatures. So here we are at Island Lake Conservation Park. It's about 15 minutes from our home. It's the place that we did our kayaking. There are a lot of trails and nature to enjoy, and people too. We were fortunate to get one of the decks that has been built, and they jut out towards the lake. We brought our picnic lunch, of course, and we decided to actually put it together while we were at the park. Stanley is from Belfast. That's the northern part of Ireland, completely separate from the south. The northern part is still part of Britain. The south, a long time ago, decided they wanted to do their own thing. So here you have this Irish island, and it's split between the British allegiance and independence. Now, Stanley immigrated to Canada when he was 21. He had an uncle that was living in Niagara Falls, and that uncle invited him to come and stay. He vacationed first, and then he decided to move to Canada. So I'm glad he did, obviously. He tells me that when growing up, his parents used to take a thermos of tea and a tin of sandwiches and go out to the seaside and have a picnic. You can go to almost any beach anywhere in Ireland within about 10 minutes. So,
where's this coming from?
The duck in the water.
Really? It makes quite a bit of noise.
This is my table. Decoupaged each end, nice solid wood piece. This is all paint sticks. Paint sticks. They're handy.
This somehow's in the wrong end of this, you know. Look at that. Oh, I know what you do. You left it out. Oh, man.
The little table I just illustrated was something that I made, and it was meant to be a little table to go, like a coffee table to go between our chairs, but I forgot the wind guard for our stove.
Oh, it's getting warm here. The breeze has pretty well gone away.
It's pretty good, eh? Like I said, it seems like there's no breeze down here. And that's it for there.
There's two of them back.
It's hard for me to get them.
There might be another two coming.
That's as close as I can get it. In the beginning of this video, I asked a question. Do seniors find themselves gravitating toward nature? And if so, do they know why? I find myself being drawn more and more to nature, and I want to be by trees and water and enjoy plants and flowers and ferns and birds, and I certainly get a fill of all that at Island Lake. One study I read explained that this draw or inclination is a natural one as we age. I was kind of surprised to hear that or read that. So a particular study and research concluded that this is what happens to us. And I wonder, is it really true? Just because it's a study doesn't mean that it's really reflective of all of us in nature or all of us as seniors. Is it really about some kind of genetic code that gets switched on as we age? Or was it always there, that desire to be in nature, but we just didn't have time to indulge in it the same way as we can now? There is another study. It's the opposite of what I've just mentioned. The opposite of seniors drawn to nature is a study that says that seniors prefer to stay home. The why of this, if it's true, is that as seniors, we take comfort in the familiar. We prefer to move around in spaces that we already understand. But thinking about that, I also read another study, I read a lot, and that is that as we age, there's these dendrites, they're like tree branches in our brain, and they gradually shrink back. Having said that, it's possible as we age to grow new dendrites, new connections. So we don't have to just sort of allow or sit back and let all the dendrites shrink back, and then it inhibits the connections that are being made in our brain. We can actually grow new ones. And a simple way to grow a new one, I was reminding Stanley today, is that if you usually drink your coffee cup or hold your coffee cup with your right hand and you drink that way, start using your left hand because it creates a new dendrite. It helps promote that growth in your brain. In the research I was doing, it said one of the benefits of being out in nature is it improves cognitive functioning.
Oh, really?
So you know what happens for me?
What?
My cognitive functioning takes a rest.
It probably does a whole lot of things out in the woods and nature that we don't even necessarily know about or understand.
Or that we realize is going on.
Yeah, but one thing about it, it can be refreshing for body and mind, as long as you're under no stress. You come out here like a day like today, stress is minimal, unless you bring it with you. But if you're free of stress and just can enjoy the blue, today it's blue water and blue sky.
It's incredible.
And yet that water looks quite dark some days when it's cloudy. Of course the ocean's like that too.
Yeah.
It picks up some of its color from the sky. Yeah. Eh?
A great benefit of nature, which I had not read in any of my studies, is connection. Definitely we have increased positive mood when we're in nature. There's that possibility if somebody has depression that it can decrease. And as Stanley mentioned, stress is reduced. Nature promotes calm and joy and creativity. I like that part. And studies show it can lower blood pressure and heart rate and contribute generally to our sense of well-being. Did you know that a walk in nature is better than a walk in the city? This time round, it took me less than 3 minutes to set up the cozy. I'm getting really good at it. After our picnic was cleared away and we gave up the deck in case somebody else wanted to use it, we set up our little cozy and we just hung out at the end of our vehicle. It's really neat the number of people that point at it and then come by and ask us, like, what is this all about? So I have a couple of preliminary conclusions for you regarding seniors and nature. I hope you can appreciate the irony in what I'm going to share about. Conclusion. As seniors drawn to nature, we're going back to nature when we die. So we're headed in the right direction. We're headed for the great big sleep. That's the other side of it. When we die, so we might as well indulge in practice now. Have you ever walked into a senior's home and half of the people, maybe most, are sleeping? Yeah, they're getting ready for the big sleep, as Stanley would call it. So let's let nature wake up our senses and keep us engaged and alive and enjoy. There we go.
Get the sun red shining on us, such a best way for.
How about this? Here.
I don't think so.
How do you know? Look. That's a video.
Who is this?
Yeah. I'll turn it around now.
Now, when we turn.
What would a picnic be without a great walk? So we saw a blue heron.
See the white one?
We saw this white heron.
No.
I thought it was called a crane, but apparently they're different. There's the blue heron again. So have you figured out what the creature in the tree was or is? It's a porcupine. I had no idea that they climb trees. 2 porcupines were up in this birch tree. They were sleeping. They've barely moved except to maybe adjust their bodies a little bit. They're cute.
Not much going on here because he's sleeping.
Oh, it's a white heron, Mom.
And then the gray one's still. I wonder what he's thinking. He just stands there so still, so alone. What is he thinking? I'm imagining what it would be like for people living in their car because I'm sitting in our vehicle. And it's super comfortable because of the way I've got it set up with the 4-inch foam mattress and so forth. I've got the little Honda Cozy on the back, and there's a nice breeze that comes in from that end. Plus, I have my fan going. Feel quite warm. And today is it's only about 20 degrees Celsius, which I think is like about 78 maybe Fahrenheit. I'll check it out. But people who live in their car must spend a good deal of time outdoors, like outside. I'm sitting in here on a nice sunny day because it's comfortable and I want to do my knitting. And Stanley's having a nap. It's what we do. Sometimes we have a nap. He usually has a siesta. He calls it a drift because you're going to drift out for a little bit. I don't feel sleepy, tired, or anything. I'm just too hepped up, enjoying all this. But I was thinking about people who live in their cars, and they must live a fair amount of the time outside of the car. And then I wonder what it's like at night. Now, I do have window coverings, and I could put the windows down. But it's amazing, even with the whole back hatch open up. It's amazing how it can get warm in here. So I have sympathy for car dwellers and car camping people.
Wild animals? We saw ducks, geese, turtles, herons, porcupines, chipmunks, squirrels. I think that's it. Thanks for watching.